Hi guys. So it's the 20th of December today, the night before the solstice, and the sun set about an hour ago. So I'm starting to kind of settle in and think about my solstice ritual. I'm probably going to do it at some point after dinner in the next couple of hours. And I've just been changing up my altar actually. I had this notion that I would get a mood board done for the solstice this year, and it just didn't happen. I never had the time to go out and, buy the cardboard that I would need and all of that kind of thing. But what I ended up doing was actually just printing out images anyway and cutting them up and just kind of blue tacking them to the back of my writing desk, you can see here. And I'm actually quite happy with the result. It's not particularly tidy, but it means that I can take some of them down gradually. There are at least 2 of them up there that will stay up all year. Well, probably only 2 of them that will stay up kind of all year around. I think I'm going to do this all the time now and just gradually rotate it as the year goes around. And the other major change that's happened to my altar is that I've decided to kind of get rid of all the clutter that was going on in the middle and the bottom half, which was all to do with sort of the elements and earth and all that kind of thing. It wasn't really working for me. And what I decided to do instead was to create a part of my altar, to kind of create a mini altar within my altar for the Morrigan. Because I've never actually created a dedicated altar for her, which is maybe a bit strange. I find her difficult to make altars for and find images for and find representations for. But I decided I definitely needed a focal point for her, because I've been using, and you can see on the right hand side there, my my Morrigan prayer beads. I've been using them pretty much every morning for the last week or so. And I just decided that I wanted a focal point for her on my altar. So I decided to just set up a mini altar, like I say, an altar within an altar for her on my altar. The Morrigan for me, I'm going to go into this in another video more, but she's sort of all encompassing and then at the same time represents more specific things for me as well. And I have a bit of a complicated relationship with her as a deity or an archetype. But I'm definitely going to make a video about that in the new year. So basically, I just thought I'd show you where my altar is at. This is what it's going to look like when I do my ritual this evening. Sorry if I'm sniffing a bit, I've got a bit of a cold. I finally, you could say, pretty much finished the project that I had to do before Christmas. I've got everything done on it that I'm going to do before Christmas, basically. It's going live in January, and there's just going to be bits and pieces to do then, but I finally finished that project. So of course the first thing that happens is I wake up the next day with a cold, which is typical for me. After a stressful or tiring couple of weeks, I always end up getting a cold when I can relax again. So yeah, this is just a quick video showing you my altar. My ritual this evening, I wanted to think it through a bit more than I did, and then I got around to, but again, time constraints. I kind of looked at the text that I used last year, and I've actually just printed that out. I'm going to use that again and then just see where it takes me. I'm going to try to be a little bit more spontaneous with this ritual. Like, I have various set things that I sometimes do in rituals, and I might do some of them, I might do all of them, I might not. And I'm just going to kind of going to see where it goes, really, because yeah, I haven't really had the time to write any new material or to think about it as much as I would have liked to, but that's okay. I'll just go with that. So I think I'm going to make a few videos tomorrow during the day. I'm not altogether sure how much I'm going to be doing that will be actually in any way solstice specific or in any way interesting, but I might just make another couple of quick videos tomorrow just to talk about what I'm doing to celebrate the solstice and all that kind of thing. Hi guys, so it's the morning of the 21st. The morning of the solstice, and I'm about to go out and sit and watch the sunrise. Unfortunately, it does seem to be raining. It mostly looks blue on this camera, but it's just pretty grey out there this morning, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to bring an umbrella and hopefully it'll clear up. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't think it's raining too heavily. I don't know if you can see it, but the sky is actually started clearing to the southeast just in time for the sunrise. And it's not raining. I'm the only one in the park. If anyone sees me, they're going to think I'm a bit mad. It's absolutely soaking over here. It's been raining all night. So the sun's going to be rising in about 10 minutes, I'd say. And again, it's very blue on this camera, but the light is more kind of dull orangey kind of sunrise kind of colour. Hi guys. Unfortunately the camera really didn't do justice to the sunrise out there in the park this morning at all. But the experience was really magnificent. I've actually never done that before. I mean, I've obviously seen sunrises before. Well, you'd be hard pushed not to in Ireland, seeing as the sun rises on the winter solstice at 20 to 9. But you know, I have actually sat down to watch sunrises before, but never actually on the solstice. The last couple of years I've been getting up and watching the RTE broadcast of the sun coming into Newgrange, although we had cloudy weather the last couple of years and nothing happened. This year I decided instead that I was going to go out and experience the sunrise for myself and then come back and watch the footage afterwards. But sadly when I came back to find the footage there doesn't seem to be any, so I'm pretty glad that I decided to go out and experience it myself rather than watching it, though it really is a shame because, as I said, the clouds cleared in time for the sunrise this morning, just about. They were just about cleared from, I think, because obviously I couldn't, there were kind of houses and trees and stuff blocking my view somewhat from where I was sitting, so it took maybe an extra 10 minutes for the sun to actually be visible for me from where I was. But I'd say if there was footage taken, which I'd imagine there was, that it would have been pretty spectacular today. So yeah, it was a bit different than what I expected. Obviously with the sunrise, there's especially when there are some clouds, a couple of little clouds across the sky, there doesn't tend to be one kind of moment when you're actually like, oh right, yeah, the sun has risen, especially when there was a moment when I thought, okay, I can actually see the sun over the tree now. But in terms of the actual sunrise, because it's blocked in the city, blocked by buildings and stuff like that, you just kind of have to go, oh, okay, well it's a bit brighter now, and now I think the sun is actually risen. But it was very beautiful. Just a couple of minutes after the time when the sunrise was, you know, officially happening, some clouds started just drifting up from about the spot where the sun was rising, just the last couple of clouds, and they were just lit up this amazing golden colour as though they were on fire. It was really very beautiful. My ritual last night was very interesting too. I'm not going to talk about it too much, I don't think, but it was very different to what I expected. It was very different to probably any other rituals I've done. My rituals have been, or particularly my Sabbath rituals, have been getting quite different the last couple of ones, in that since Lunasa really. Samhain not so much, but I was sick on my birthday, and it was my birthday, and you know, it was all a bit all over the place, so it wasn't exactly my most focused ritual ever. I might not do that again. I might actually have my Samhain ritual on the day before or the day after from now on, because I found myself to be a bit scattered on the actual day. But anyway, ever since Lunasa, I found myself being more and more sort of loose and chatty during my rituals, in that rather than just kind of going with set actions and words and things like that, I find myself sitting talking to Goddess or to the Morrigan or to whoever it is that I feel like I'm addressing, and sometimes just, you know, to the all, to the universe, or to myself really. It was slightly different this time. It was maybe less chatty, but I definitely ended up being just speaking spontaneously. There was large swathes of ritual actions that I completely left out, and ritual focuses that I completely left out, that I just didn't, because I had decided that I would just do what I felt like doing in the moment. And it was really very powerful. I ended up focusing on the Morrigan an awful lot more than I was expecting to, and that ended up being pretty much the focus. I did read through the text that I had put together last year, because I do like to have an initial sort of announcement of the Sabbath, and then a sort of a text to go through the main points of what I'm wanting to think about at that time as well, at the heart of the ritual, which is when I can't remember what I did last year, if I lit a candle or if I plugged in the Christmas tree lights, but I think I plugged in the Christmas tree lights, and I did that again this year as a sort of symbol of the returning light kind of thing. And I have a major love for Christmas trees. I know some people call them Yule trees in the pagan community, but Yule isn't really a term that I use at all, and midwinter tree or solstice tree just sounds like a bit of a mouthful. It really is a Christmas tree, because my love of it kind of stems from that time when I was very small, when I was first appreciating Christmas and decorating the tree. And I used to sit out, we used to have it in our conservatory at the back of my parents' house, and I used to sit out gazing at it and singing to it for hours apparently, which I do actually remember doing. So I tend to kind of replicate that in my ritual too. It was definitely an interesting one. I think I was right when I said, I don't know if I said it here, or I definitely said it to myself anyway, you're going to have to take my word for it if I didn't say it in a video, but I feel like my spirituality is definitely taking another turn. It's maturing a bit more, maybe, changing a bit, and it'll be interesting to see where it takes me. One of those things is that I've definitely stepped up a daily practice now, and I'm not going to go into it now. I'll make another video again about daily practice maybe in a few weeks. But what I've been doing here actually on the altar, as you can see, my prayer beads are out, and there's the tarot card there, and the Morrigan candle is lit as well as my main altar candles. Yeah, I've just finished doing my daily, I don't know what I'd call them, devotionals intention setting, which is an idea I got from Kellyanne actually. Yeah, I'll come up with a word for it at some point, I suppose. Yeah, so I think that's about it for the moment. I just wanted to sort of record my thoughts on my experience this morning and a couple of thoughts on the ritual. I'm having a friend over later. I usually, the last 2 years, I had all my closer friends over on the solstice for mince pies and mulled wine kind of thing. But this year, I think because it's on a Saturday, basically most of them are busy. Or a core couple are busy, and then we've all been invited to another party, or some of us have been invited to another party. It's all a bit complicated. So basically I'm just going to have one very close friend, one of my best friends is going to come over. I haven't seen her for a couple of weeks. So that will be nice. And then I'm probably going to be going to a party this evening, and yeah, spending time with my boyfriend this afternoon and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it should be a nice day. I'm feeling very kind of calm and peaceful and really plugged in. It's a good feeling. I think this is been one of my best Sabbath experiences thus far.